corner, you can press that, and it's an option for pop-out chat. Maybe, maybe not.
How's everyone doing? I've been here for the last hour, so yeah, I've heard about the benches, the ducks, and some more stuff.
Did you hear the ducks?
You're pretty much updated on my whole life.
In fact, I tried finding the one I have, but I think it got lost during the last time I moved. So yeah, I did my best. I'm sorry. I'm such a disappointment.
I'm gonna have to go and find that YouTube link again. I lost it. I own too many computers, and so I'm on a completely different computer than I'm on before.
That's okay.
I basically can never get rid of the computer. Computers just get relegated to other rooms of the house, basically. So this is the 10-year-old laptop I'm on right now, which admittedly is still a beautiful workhorse of a computer, hence why it is now in the 3D printing room. But it is not my main computer, which means that all of my links and pages and tabs are on the other computer. Bugger.
Okay, I'm just doing an Instagram post about this.
Oh, you don't want to put my face on your Instagram page. You don't want people.
I just zoomed on my face. I'm responsible for that.
All right, so Faye, you are in the UK, correct?
I am. I'm in London.
Hey!
I know I don't sound like a Londoner, but trust me.
Be worse. And this, all right, so just so you guys know, I am famous for butchering people's names. Okay.
I know. I'm aware of that.
You already knew? Wow.
Yeah, because
my reputation precedes me, and I'm sure Vedran is sitting there cracking up laughing right now, pointing at the screen going, ah! So, yeah. So, it's Agustin?
in Spanish it's Agustin, but Agustin, I think it's the best way to say it in English. And the second name, okay, I'm going to change it. That's my real last name, Arroyo.
Okay.
But I'm flowalistic, like fantastic and flow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but feel free to call me in any way you want.
Augustine,
as soon as people understand who I am.
Oh yeah, I mean no, because yeah, I'm famous with butchering people's names. And you, sir, are in Spain, correct?
Yeah, exactly. I'm in Madrid. Yeah, I'm in the future, actually.
Nice.
It's 8 p.m.
It's 8 p.m. All right, so I need the winning lottery numbers for. Screw. You know what? You know, forget that. Just send me a ticket out of the U.S. just so I can get away from all the craziness here.
Okay. I can adopt you, so you can come and live with me if you want.
Oh, you don't want that to happen, believe me.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say anything, but like, there's definitely there might be some reasons why I sound like an American living in London. Maybe. Possibly. I have been here for 10 years though, so like I didn't just move over like last year or anything. I just sound like this. It doesn't go away.
Well, you sound like most of the actors that change their voices from their original voice to their American voice. And
really?
I don't know how they do it like that on cue. Like a lot of these actors, like the Spider-Man actor, Tom, the young one.
Yeah, Tom Holland.
Yeah, he'll change his accent. I was like, he's from Brooklyn.
See, this is the only accent I've got. I can't change my accent to something else. It's terrible. Trust me. If I put on a fake British accent right now, everyone would log out. it would be bad. Also, I do apologize. There might be an additional guest in the video, possibly, depending on if he feels like joining. He's small and furry.
Dogs have preference.
Sorry?
Dogs have preference.
Not a dog, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, we're losing your connection. It's bad. This static, I can't. What's that?
I will show everyone my cat. So it's an asshole, but yeah, this stream from 8 p.m. CET to 9 p.m. It's a cat. There's a cat preference. Okay.
There you go.
Mine is also a cat.
I've been
I
overruled.
love that he's investigating the printer right now, and I'm just kind of like, how long before I have to jump up? How long before I have to jump up and rescue the print? Like, he's really close.
Oh, that's okay. We're kind of used to it because we've had with the 1440 stream, we've had people spill coffee on their laptop.
Oh,
Or
Yeah.
a very expensive laptop. We've had people knock over their cameras.
We had people jump out of their chairs.
Yeah, we've had home invasions with "Don't shoot, I don't have a gun." What else? Ridiculous old sing-alongs to old TV themes. So yeah, the crazier the better. You fit in better.
Hey, perfect. Some of these things I can do. Singing along, yes. Other things maybe not so much, but yeah. I mean, I can do my best. I can do my best. That is an amazing workshop, by the way, Chris. I am just absolutely like. I'm jealous. I'll be honest. I'm jealous. It's amazing. It's massive. You've got all the stuff. Like, I want to be there right now. Where are you at?
I am right in the middle of the United States. I'm in Kansas City.
That is literally in the middle, isn't it?
Yep.
Like, I don't think you could be more in the middle.
I'm like just a little bit east of the exact center of the United States. Yes.
Okay, well, this is admittedly a thing. One of maybe 3 or 4 things that I miss about being in the U.S. And that's big, spacious rooms.
Yeah.
Having
Having
understands.
you end up with
European
chaos.
size.
Yeah. You just have more room to keep and hoard stuff that you look at and go, well, I'll make something with that someday. I swear. So that's
I love hoarding stuff.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I love hoarding stuff. I want to hoard stuff more.
Chris' area wasn't always like that, right? You started off with Chris's corner, and then it became Chris's basement.
Exactly. Well, you can see the progression, in all of the videos that I had almost nothing, at the beginning, and now I have piles everywhere. So. See,
and I'm getting to look into everyone's kind of like space, and I'm sitting here going, all right, I think I recognize, the Pooch back there,
Yeah,
I'm recognizing. I like your giant 3D printing nerd badge on the box, and is it a Rainbow Yoda? I see.
Yes, Rainbow Yoda by Foda Smith.
I am admittedly obsessed with rainbow filament. I'm determined to try every different type I can get my hands on. Unfortunately, I'm noticing that a lot of times people are sharing their prints, their filaments that are only available in the US or only available in Australia, and I'm just like, but I can't try it if I can't get it.
Yeah.
But I think I've tried most of the ones available in the UK, which is like maybe 5 or 6 different rainbow.
It's amazing how the transition they go into. Like, you have some that are darker, some are lighter, and the prints, they always look amazing.
They tend to. I've had 1 or 2 that just kind of were a bit disappointing. Like, they only had like kind of 4 colors instead of like a full rainbow. But I'm also a bit of a edit, so I'm kind of like, but rainbow is at least 7 colors. What is this? What is this 4-color nonsense? You don't get to count the transitions as individual colors. You have to have at least 7 different colors. See, this is where people are definitely logging off. They're like, wow.
And they should change the order of it too. Like, you see them, they tend to be the same color transitions. Let's switch those things up.
All right, if any filament manufacturers are listening, you are getting some very good tips here, because at least 2 of us are going to be buying this filament. At least
make 3 of us. Let's make.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
A sale of 3.
So which features do we want? Like smooth transitions, super cheap, high quality, and what else? Any color preference?
Silkiness.
Okay.
silkiness texture.
See, I can take the leaf silkiness. Silkiness, I like it sometimes, but sometimes a nice kind of like more matte can be totally appreciated as well. Smooth transitions, definitely important. More colors, also important. But see, I feel like this is that Venn diagram thing where you can either get cheap and good, or I can't remember. It's like it's cheap, good, and something else. And you can't get all three. It's not possible.
Fast.
Somebody knows what I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah, fast is the other one.
Fast.
Thank you. Yes. Fast, cheap, and good. You can't get all three.
Right.
You know.
Okay. Super easy to get that. And I'm checking, how many printers do you have there, all of you? Like
You
I
don't
see
wanna ask
many
me.
printers.
I
Like-
have a lot of printers. Some
Yeah.
off screen too. I have.
Again with the jealous.
I got about maybe 10 printers, and then the ones that I'll take a printer and build it into something else.
Okay, so you have 10 working 3D printers behind you?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 working printers.
One,
I have some
one-
up top too.
Yeah, I was saying
up top,
one's
yeah.
on the ceiling, upside down.
Yeah.
I have
Oh, and then these here. I have
One 3D
It all
printer,
starts
okay.
with
one
one.
working 3D printer. I have a second one that is currently non-functional, and I mean, I honestly, even if it was functional, it's a flash forge finder. I like to refer to it as baby's first 3D printer because it was my first 3D printer. It is the 3D printer that I started with, and you know what? I have to thank it because it got me where I am today. But as soon as I got a Prusa, the finder just kind of got relegated to the corner. A little
Yeah, that happens. That happens. It's super sad when your first 3D printer breaks down and you just have a better one, and you feel like, hey, I should keep it for the museum. And then 3 years later, you have a basement full of things and 3D printers that are not working, and you decide like, okay, I'm going to give it away, or just
It was
sell
a
it.
very interesting learning experience. So when I took apart the hot end for the finder for the first time, and I built the Prusa at this point, and to have that comparison of how they're made and how they go together was wild. To see the differences between a really nicely made, well-tuned printer and perhaps one that's not so much. And just it was the organization of the wires, for example, was like, oh wow, this is different. This is maybe not so pleasant. But Stephanie, I definitely would like at least 5 more printers. I'm open to donations. If anyone would like to donate a 3D printer to my cause, I don't have anywhere to put it. I mean, I don't need a bed, right? Like 3D printers are better than beds.
well, you can keep the 3D printers on the floor. We can make people to send them their non-functional 3D printers if you are up for a challenge.
I don't know that I have faith in myself to fix a completely busted one that I did not break. Like I feel like it's different when you broke it. It's like, okay, got a general idea of what went wrong here.
the good thing. There's plenty of videos to help you out. You know, Chris has done plenty of
God for
videos.
that.
Yeah, and then you when you first start in this, you buy something and it's supposed to print, and then you
Just like it.
realize it's not doing what it's supposed to. Then you start purchasing things like calipers, and now you're turning yourself into something else, and you realize why something that's supposed to be 20 millimeters is not 20 millimeters.
I do feel like I have started to experience this for myself. I've been 3D printing for just under 2 years now, so I feel like I'm starting. I'm probably the baby in the room relatively, but I feel like I'm starting to reach that real point of no going back obsession.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter when you joined the 3D printing community. It's all about which printer you got, because if you got sort of a Prusa Mark III or an Ultimaker, the experience has been quite good. But if you got a Chinese 3D printer and you learn the hard way what thermal runway is, then you're a pro, an absolute pro. It doesn't matter if you joined 6 months ago, this community. It's all about
Yep.
which machine you have.
Once you learn how to define and not define and undefine things, now you're in the realm where you're talking about the programming language that runs behind the scenes. And sometimes it's not that you want to learn that, it's you're forced into it because you got a product that you
No
have
choice.
to do these things to it. No choice.
Well,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, the struggle is real, and we all go through it. So a year in, you're a really hardened vet by that time because you've been beat down so much. So
Yeah.
so 2 years, you're pretty much a pro.
I do feel like it has been like an accelerated course in something that I
Absolutely.
previously knew nothing about. I mean, I came into this with 3D design knowledge, but not anything additive manufacturing. So it was very much kind of okay, I understand how 3D things work. And that's about it.
Well, there's people saying on the chat, it's good or bad that I started with a Da Vinci. Well, that's well, it should be a plug and play 3D printer, but it's just a should. So
They're quite
yeah.
expensive, are they not, the Da Vinci's?
Well, there are cheap ones and expensive ones.
Okay.
But everyone that's got their hands on a Da Vinci, I'm sure they have been tweaking a lot, especially with how to make all the filaments run on it. So yeah, I would say it's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time.
You sound like you're speaking from experience here.
Well, I got a sort of close friend relative who got a Da Vinci and it's working, it's fine, but then he wants to do more stuff and I'm like, okay, that's a beginner 3D printer. Don't try that filament, please. And he got like ABS and it's like, well, you need a heated bed in that case. And then he started getting into Twitter and that stuff. And in the end, he was like, hey, can you lend me one of your 3D printers so I can manufacture this super complex thing?
You're a very nice friend.
Yeah.
And I think
know,
it,
by
Very
the
nice
way.
friend.
I think it goes hand in hand too, because as far as 3D printing is concerned, once you get a machine and you start to mess with actual 3D models, you learn that sometimes it's not the printer. Sometimes you have flip normals and you have to repair triangles, and now you're in a
Actually, that stuff I knew about. That stuff I knew all about to start with. I almost feel like I came in like the reverse direction of a lot of people. It's like, okay, no, I know my way around almost every piece of 3D software out there, but G-code is new. that's the new weird bit. But yeah, like when it's like, oh yeah, no, it's just the flip normals. No big deal. I got this.
yeah, but imagine on the other hand, a person who doesn't know that and they see a hole in their print and they go, why is
this happening to me? What did I do wrong? It is wild to me how 3D printing has become this thing that is so much more accessible than it used to be. Even just in 2 years, I've watched the prices of things just drop dramatically, halving in some cases, or even more so. So suddenly people that were perhaps never thinking it was possible to own a 3D printer can now own a 3D printer in their home. I think the thing that's now trying to get caught up is the usability, because it can still be a bit of a learning curve, especially I think if you have not much tech or computer experience. I mean, I'm very open to be told, hey, yeah, you're totally wrong. I knew nothing about computers and I picked up a 3D printer and I had it down in a week. But I get asked a lot by friends who are not tech nerds or maybe even nerds at all, how easy it would be to get started in 3D printing. And I often kind of want to be like, well, I mean, buying it's easy. That part's easy. Doesn't even have to cost you a whole lot now these days. You know, go out and buy a very functional 3D printer for $250, and that might be where the easy part stops.
Well, Chris can attest to it as far as the components. Like you have multiple components. You got a heat bed and this and temperature. So once you get a routine and get the slicer profiles down, you can have successful prints. But it's true, it takes a few things to get it going.
Yeah.
If you've got a healthy sense of creativity, though, it's fun, obviously.
I run into a lot of people that say, okay, I'm familiar with CAD. I learned it in college or whatever. And they create a model and they get, you know, the design file, but then why do I have to slice it? You know, why do I have to do this to this program? Yeah. And then to my 3D printer. And I'm like, well, let me tell you about G-code, you know.
Why not just print?
Right.
Why does this not just work?
Yep. Absolutely.
Just, I want to ask you one question. It's the main question. I have many written down. I want to ask you, but yeah, learning 3D printing remotely is hard. Some of you know it in the chat maybe, but I teach 3D printing at a university here in Madrid, and I spent the last 2 months teaching remotely. It's been a terrible situation, but I was wondering, how would you teach 3D printing remotely, considering the students need to be able to learn how 3D printers work?
Oh my gosh.
Do you have any tricks or experiences teaching, doing remote support, for example?
Oh my God, that is such a big question. That is such a...
That's why I'm asking, because it's too, I don't have the answer right now. And I'm just, hey, maybe I've thought about developing a 3D printing simulator. Is there one? If anyone knows about a 3D printer simulator, let me know in the chat, please.
But that's such a clever idea. That would, good say. I think he's going to get one right now. Did you happen to have a 3D printer simulator just hanging out behind you?
You see, this is called a merge cube, and you can actually print out on paper these designs. Your students could print them out and just paste them on a cardboard cube. And what this does is you can upload OBJ and STL files, and it becomes into a virtual space on like their phone or their iPad.
Wow.
So if you look up Merge Cube, and they got videos on it, and they have the website. It's excellent learning tool. Not only can they hold the 3D printer in the hand, you can hold it as well, and they're watching it, and you can actually point to the components and stuff.
That's brilliant.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Because the thing I've been doing during the last 2 months is I'm 3D printing my students' projects, and I send them pictures on Instagram like, hey, look, it's not working. Yay. And yeah, as far as from a learning point of view, it's not ideal. So yeah.
And you can actually, so basically, if you're holding this, what they'll see is this. Like, let's say this model, you're holding it.
Yeah.
And you can be pointing to like, you need supports here because of overhangs and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. And I think educators get it for free if you contact their website.
Yeah.
Okay.
They did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. That's absolutely ideal. What a fantastic concept.
That's great. That's great. Because here we are trapped at home. So yeah, getting a 3D printer would be the ideal solution, but I'm not sure if my 30 students would like to do that. So I'm stuck with YouTube videos and a lot of patience, I would say.
Is that the main thing that's kind of getting in the way right now, is the fact that the students don't have access, or I'm assuming some of them might, but most of them don't have access to an actual 3D printer. So everything is just, I'm supposing, in theory.
Yeah, each year, at least one of my students gets a 3D printer after during summer, because they got interested into this additive manufacturing technologies thing. But right now, they're like, we need it. We usually have access to one in university, but right now they are stuck at home.
I put a link in the chat, the link in the chat.
Opening
so click on it
right now. But yeah, but I'm super open to the idea of developing a 3D printing simulator game, sort of. Not sure if you've seen the PC building simulator game. Well,
I was gonna say, how are your programming skills?
Well, Let's keep everything open source and let's do it for the
They have
community
some.
and by
They
the
have some.
community.
They have some games attached to this too, where you can actually play games on it and hold it in your hand. So if you see on the web, I sent the link.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm on the. Yeah, everyone, just open the link, please. This is amazing. But
Okay,
what's
okay.
it's sort of AR sorts of stuff.
Yeah, it's augmented virtual reality, and
Yeah, AR.
everything shows
That'll
up
do.
in the cube. And if you have a program
Super
game,
cool.
yeah, and it's excellent learning tool, which is especially you can give the cube to, like I was setting it up at Maker Fairs where kids could hold the cube, but on this when they put it behind the screen, they're actually holding the 3D printer in their hand, and I can show them which parts not to touch and stuff like that.
Okay, that's awesome. That is fantastic. I've not seen anything quite like this before. I mean, I've seen tons of different examples of AR, but usually it's a very different sort of very different sort of AR, and it's considerably less tactile than this. This is like I'm watching the little video kind of showing them with the cube in their hand,
So-
kind of turning it around. That's excellent.
So imagine your model. You design a model. You can actually scale that model up, stamp it in space, and put it all on these tables here. Stamp different models, and so when they pass by with their tablet or their phone, they're seeing your model, and they can walk around it and everything. It's amazing.
Guys,
Super
guys,
cool.
I gotta tell you, I think we're living in the future. I think this is future stuff. I mean, admittedly, that is a thought I have probably on a daily or weekly basis, like just being able to create things that I need on a printer like that. I mean, it is. Let's be honest, this is Star Trek. You know,
Especially
we're
on the shows when you have people coming up to your table. You know these things are hot. They can't touch them, but kids always they tactile. They want to touch things. So this is excellent. So you can have them hold a Prusa printer in their hand or any type of printer and
without any
show 'em
danger.
without any danger.
Oh man, I hope they're paying you like a little something on the side because you're selling it really well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
My sister's a teacher in New York, and I show her this thing to help her with some of her math modules, and she's using it now. And the fact that they offer you can print this pattern. It's 3 patterns on it. You can print them. It's kind of a little bit of spooky Illuminati type
Yeah,
images,
yeah.
but it actually each one coincides with a space and augmented reality, and they give you the ability to print it on paper and just make your own cube, so you don't have to actually go and buy the thing.
That's.
But I believe
That's even
educators
more
get
amazing.
them sent to them. The educators, they will send you one.
Yes, no, I am in the future. I do enjoy living in the future. It works out well for me. Apologies, I'm just noticing that yes, I do live in the future, at least for everyone but Agustin, who is in my
Yeah.
future by 1 hour.
Nothing interesting is happening. Okay, so
Okay, nothing in the next hour.
yeah.
That's. I mean, actually, you're basically saying that nothing interesting is going to happen in the chat in the next hour.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
It's
Well,
like the missing link with how you bridge modeling, the 3D printers, the actual materials and components. And I think this is a missing link. I mean, to be able to hold a model before it's printing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember on Windows there's an app for the Surface products about it's about AR, and I remember opening some STL files, but it's not the same as holding a 3D printer, virtual 3D printer. So yeah, when teaching remotely 3D printing, we need to be able to touch things or sort of hold
Correct.
them on our hands. Yeah, that's our main issue here.
Most
main issue.
people don't necessarily, like most people's brains, I don't think necessarily do the transition from a 2-dimensional thing to a 3-dimensional thing seamlessly. I think that's where having to hold something is so good and useful and important, because if you just see an image on the screen, your brain doesn't necessarily know how that's going to translate into reality. So having something at least semi-tactile that's 3-dimensional that you can kind of work with is
And it works really well. It's amazingly how it works. And the fact that you can stamp, what I did was I went around the kitchen and I stamped a whole bunch of Prussers on all the counters. And then I did a virtual tour with the iPad, and you can see all the Prusa printers everywhere.
And meanwhile, Happy's wife is like, no.
What was that?
Meanwhile, your wife is just standing behind you going, no.
What are you staring
gonna
at?
think about it?
They're not
No.
going to go there. I'm just seeing, just in case.
They could. They could. You clearly.
What I did was also, as I had printers printing, I would stamp the model that's printing there. So when I just walked in front of it with the phone or the actual iPad, I can see the finished model before it's finished printing.
See, the
I'm
one
curious.
thing.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, you first.
Ladies first.
I was just gonna ask Agustin what else was on his list. He had said he had a list.
Yeah. Well, this is a question my students ask me. So, which is your favorite 3D printer? That's a big question.
That's easy. The one that works.
Yeah.
The easiest scapegoat answer ever created.
Budget friendly 3D printer you want to recommend? Safe 3D printers?
I mean, again, I'm slightly biased in that I've only really extensively used two, and I know which of the two I would recommend. Is it budget friendly? I don't think. I mean, obviously that's a very relative thing. What is budget to one person is not necessarily budget to the next person. I wouldn't say that the Prusa Mark III S is budget friendly, but I would also say in the same breath that it is worth the money if you have it. Like, It's like if you have the budget, it's very much worth it. If you don't have the budget, that's a good thing. That said, the Mini is half the price.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm currently recommending sort of an Ender 3 or the Prusa Mini, but you have to wait, and that's not cool right now because we have Amazon and 1-day delivery, and that's terrible.
I'm
1-day delivery is a misnomer now, but yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm going to bring in someone right now. It's just because I know their schedule is very chaotic and crazy and everything else, and he was awesome enough to make some time.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm ecstatic that you're here as well too, sir. So, and I really can't screw up his name too much because it's pretty simple, but he's been all over the news lately with everything that he's doing in California and everything else, and basically just completely changed everything around his life and everything else to work with Mass for Docs, and is doing some amazing work. And so I want to get him in here now and just give him a break from talking about anything else other than what he's been doing, because
this is a massive
question. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the infamous Pooch. As soon as it... There you go.
Pooch.
Hello.
Who was it? I was dying to know who it was going to be. Disappointed to find out it was me. Hey, everybody.
No one is.
Hi.
How is everyone?
Great.
Doing well.
Great.
Doing
Good.
very good.
Good. What are we talking about?
We've actually been talking about remote teaching 3D printing, apparently.
Ooh, that sounds
Little bit.
That sounds good. So, have we learned how to do that yet, or are we hashing it out right now?
Hashing it out, I think.
Okay.
And I don't want to interrupt the conversation, but I am actually going to jump out of the stream, and it has nothing to do with Pooch just joining.
That's it. That's how it is, Chris.
But
I came on because of you, man. I wanted to be with you.
That shirt is amazing, by the way, Pooch. I love that shirt.
Thank you.
What's on the shirt?
This is my throwback. This is my Oregon Trail throwback shirt.
Oh God, I love that game so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, not so much dysentery, but Oregon Trail.
No, dysentery is terrible.
Yeah. First game you had.
I don't know. I haven't had it. I hope I never do. But yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're probably pretty okay. Like, I don't think it's a super huge problem these days, but you should be careful just in case if you're on the Oregon Trail.
Totally. Yeah.
But Shane, thank
Good
you for having me
advice.
on, man. I'm gonna jump out. Pooch, it's always good to see you.
Same, buddy.
It's great to see you, man. Faye, pleasure. And
Good
Ron,
night, thank you.
yeah, Ron, you're always my guy. So
Thank you,
I'm
brother.
sure I'll talk to you all soon.
Likewise.
Aw.
All right. See you.
Throwing up the hand
Bye, bye,
signs. I love
bye.
it. Awesome. So who does remote teaching? That's Agustin? Am I saying that right? Okay, good.
Yeah, perfect. You're the first one to say my name properly.
I don't
Sort of.
suffer from the same problem Shane does.
Yeah,
So,
American education system.
so solutions for remote 3D printing teaching, Merge Cube, that's one,
Cube.
and Fer Jerez, a Spanish maker, has
Oh, I know.
suggested yeah, we all know him.
Fernando.
Yeah, and
No.
if anyone doesn't know him, follow him because he does crazy stuff.
Amazing stuff.
But he just recommended something great I hadn't thought about: teaching remotely 3D printing using Octoprint or Astroprint.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that come
Remote
up in the
access.
chat.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. A little bit too late right now for me, but that's definitely a solution. Yeah, I should have thought about that a month ago.
Would there be a risk though with giving students unfettered access to your printers?
Not sure. Not
You-
sure, but
You would have to enclose that printer into a nicely
Yeah.
tight sealed vacuum chamber or something.
Halon. Put a Halon system over
Yeah,
it.
just in case those commands go in. Well, it can go hotter.
500C, no problem.
let's try it. Yeah.
You kind of decided
Yeah.
that's more or less dangerous than giving somebody access to your Bluetooth speaker.
Ooh, that's dangerous. I'm gonna order a whole bunch of stuff on Amazon that's gonna show up at your door.
Right.
Surprise.
That is honestly, yeah, I saw that pass by on the chat, and I was thinking to myself, that's a good idea. I think it's got some limitations to it, but it's definitely a good idea, and would give your students access to some printers. I mean, they still wouldn't be able to then hold the print and
Yeah,
interact
but
with it that way, but
the main thing, they are supposed to learn how to use a 3D printer, and I'm sure they haven't. If any of my students is watching, I know you haven't learned, and that's the reason why next year you're going to learn again, okay?
getting called out.
Never stop learning.
Never stop learning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, on that note, I'm going to bow out. It's been
man.
real. I'll let somebody else come in.
Yeah,
It's like I came in here and farted or something, and now everybody's just like taking off.
No, I have actually, you can't hear it, but the Weimaraner is pouring at my door here. He wants some interaction.
Oh,
Head out and take him out for a little bit.
all right, puppy.
It's been real. Faye, Agustin. How you say
Yeah.
floralistic in Spanish? I didn't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
It's
I made
flowless.
that.
Yell at him. How do you
Yeah.
say
I think you just put an E in front of it, don't you? Like, no, I don't know.
Flowalístico. It would be
Flo-
flowalístico.
Floralistico. There you
Yeah.
go.
I like that.
But great seeing you. Great meeting. Hopefully we all get
Very
together
nice
again.
to meet you.
And if you ever in the States, Faye, you could definitely take one of my other printers that I got over here. I got too many.
Don't
So
tease me like that.
don't.
Oh, is
hey,
Faye
listen
looking
to
for
this one.
printers? Are you looking
Yeah,
for printers?
look at Pooch.
We got
I
an
was
idea
being
for you.
very jealous. I was being very jealous. My one functional printer was feeling very jealous of all that amazing goodness going on behind.
This is how that started. Started out with one printer.
You gotta start with one.
It's
You gotta
called
start
a
somewhere.
problem.
Yeah.
Right now.
But thank you much for having me, Shane. Appreciate.
Hey,
thank you for
thank you
everything
for
you're
joining
doing.
us.
This is good. We needed a break from the norm.
Dude, I'm just
And
staring at the
Pooch, for everything
camera.
you're doing.
Hey, Ron, always good seeing you, buddy. I can't wait till we can
Definitely do
high-five
it again.
in person. Yeah.
Definitely. So you
All right,
guys be safe, everyone, and thank you much. And the chat room, stay awesome. Keep printing, and let's keep pushing this thing forward. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Amen.
You got it.
Thanks, sir. Later.
See you.
Oh, so we're now 4. We're
Mhm.
down to
It's
4.
good. It messes with my feng shui when it's like just,
I mean, you can try and like push the screen out a little bit, but I don't have quite that level of virtual reality control quite
No,
yet.
it wouldn't mess it with it.
I need to get the virtual background thing going too. Like I see everybody doing that. It's a lot of fun. Like who was Hannah had the fire one, which was sweet. I love that. Everything's fine. Everything's fine background. Everything's fine.
Nothing to see
That's
here.
our life. Yep. The everything's fine dog is literally our life. That is the biggest mug. I'm sorry. I have to interrupt myself to call attention to Shane's giant mug. Holy crap.
What you got, Shane?
That's
not the giant one.
No.
That's just
that's normal.
It's baby size.
Just gonna say that, but that looks like a normal. I don't have a mug.
I need to get my little espresso, just pinkies up.
See, y'all are having coffee and stuff, and I'm getting ready to have dinner.
It's morning. It's morning still, Here. We're spanning a lot of time zones here, right? So I got West Coast, East Coast. You guys are UK, España, yeah? You're in Madrid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, now how what's the time zone difference between you two? Not much, right?
Just 1 hour.
Just
1 hour between us.
Yeah.
So it's coming up on 8 p.m. for me, and so it'll be 9 for Agustin.
Oh, perfect.
Exactly.
Doing a late Euro dinner there, eh, Faye? Or do you normally eat that late?
I'm a bit of a late eater because I'm a bit of a late riser.
Night owl. That's right.
It's funny actually. Historically, I am very, very bad at being up very late. But since not having to leave the house, I'm suddenly waking up at 9 a.m. and going to bed at like midnight-ish. And it's kind of like, I just needed a global pandemic to get a schedule.
I mean, time is relative, right? When you're in your house, you do stuff whenever, it suits you. Pants optional, it's all good.
That is definitely, I think, the best part of working from home.
Pants optional. Yeah,
pants optional, absolutely. But yeah, it's late. It's not too late for dinner. 8 o'clock, 8 something dinner. It's not the absolute worst, but I'm seeing you with your coffee, and I'm just kind of like, a little late for coffee.
Well, it's almost noon here, but yeah, I was a late riser today. I was up late too, so everybody's out of whack. Yeah. This was
now you get to appreciate your background with your 3D printers and is that a full Stormtrooper helmet or is it?
It's a 95% full Stormtrooper helmet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It failed at the very end there. Yeah, I have. That was the fail. I had a successful one that I sacrificed I found some old sunglasses and hacked out the lenses and actually. I'm not known for finishing prints. I'm a broad strokes maker. I'm very good at starting things, but not.
Okay.
But that was one of mine, and I don't have that one here right now. But anyway, I like that print.
Now, are you the type of person that if a print fails 95% in, do you then print the remaining 5% and glue them together, or do you just say, I'm just gonna start it all over again?
It depends on the print. For something like that's a multi-day print. You can get away with glooping that. Yeah, just print the other part, or I have some print resume wizardry that I've attempted before that sometimes works, but usually you're better off just glooping the other part together if you can figure out what layer you failed at. Which is
no, I'm an expert at figuring out the layer I failed at.
Yeah.
I'm doing that all the time. In fact, I think that maybe every other print that I have ever completed that is of any reasonable amount of size probably has been glued together because the print failed. Like, in fact, actually, to say the model that I've been working on, definitely there was a failure in the legs, but thankfully you can't really tell.
No, you can't.
I do apologize for the incredible noxious mustard yellow color as well. Like, I did not realize that was a color.
I think it's a great color, and it's
the primer color. I didn't realize it was yellow when I bought it.
Your webcam doesn't know what to do with it. It totally
no, it doesn't.
Okay, I didn't say it. You did.
It struggles enough with my hair. Like, it's kind of like, what is this color? What do you want me to do with this? But yeah, it's the legs failed. The legs definitely gave out near the top of what are those, thigh highs?
Those are thigh highs. Yes, I'm well versed in ladies' boot fashion.
Yes, well, I mean, I don't know how
stockings.
you are. like, again, like I'm just not getting both of you. There's not a whole lot of logic behind this outfit. I don't know how much you know.
So you're saying that's not a
color
day, that's not a daily wear thing that, you know, most.
I mean, it is for her.
Nightly wear.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
It's definitely a day to night
Sure.
kind of look.
Sure.
You know, but admittedly, I'm not gonna lie, I love the ridiculousness of the costumes from that show.
Are you a big cosplayer? Do you do the cosplay?
Define big.
Have you dressed up and gone to a con or some sort of event for cosplaying?
Yes, I have been cosplaying since I've been making costumes and putting them on and subjecting myself to public ridicule since I was about 15.
It's hard to ridicule, and you know it. I mean, those people are hardcore into their craft, as they should be. It's amazing.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of love the public ridicule. Like I have very fond memories. Again, being a teenager and walking down the street in costume. Like I've left the convention at this point. Like I'm not surrounded by my people anymore. I am walking down the street in a costume that does not look normal, even a little bit. And I'm just kind of being like, yeah, this is.
Define normal. I mean, if you want to play that game.
But and obviously it's fun game because I many years later, well, I don't know how old I am anymore, and I'm definitely still doing it, but not as much as I'd like. Unfortunately, conventions in the UK are just not as good as the US. Like I'm willing to draw a line in the sand here. There are certain things I like about the UK.
Yeah.
Conventions aren't one of them.
Is it more proper stuff? Are they like getting dressed up like characters from The Crown or something and doing that kind of thing, or is it?
It's less that the cosplay isn't as good. It's more that the conventions are less good.
Oh, okay.
They're smaller and more commercialized and more regimented and less like a 96-hour party. If you've ever been to Dragon Con, you know what I'm talking about.
I have not been, but I've heard a lot of things. Amy loves to regale us with stories from Dragon Con every year.
It is. I love it enough that I make the trip as often as I can, which is obviously a huge rigmarole because I'm coming from London to do so, and you know, packing 2 or 3 suitcases full of costumes, which it's a good thing that I know at least enough about 3D design to be able to adapt some of these prints to not be a single giant thing, but to be able to come apart and go back together again.
So, Agustin, am I saying that right again? I keep panicking when I say
Don't
it.
ask me.
Floilistico.
El flowalístico. You can call it.
Floilistico.
Yeah.
What's the cosplay story like in España? Like, what is it? Is it a community? Are they do cosplay?
In fact, some of my closest friends from uni, we became close friends because we went to this it was an anime convention, and it was great. But I've never done cosplay. But I designed some props some time ago, and I'm always like, I need to 3D print and make some low poly stuff costume. But I never get the time. It's like Halloween next year, and I never do it. I'm just too lazy.
Is Halloween big there? Is that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. It's not like in the US. But I lived 2 years in Paris, in France. And it's crazy, the cosplay culture there. It's much bigger. I think it's one of the biggest in Europe. But yeah, compared to the US, and well, I went to Japan last year.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
that was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, America and Japan definitely have cornered the cosplay market a bit.
Go big or go home. You know.
Yeah, we're very big at pretending around here in multiple.
But it works. It actually works. So if anyone has any idea about what can I cosplay about, just let me know. My girlfriend always told me, like, you look like the guy from Despicable Me, you know, Gru. But like, there's nothing I can 3D print about that. So yeah, I'm stuck.
I was gonna say, I'm not certain that you have the right head to shoulder ratio.
Yeah.
As the guy. like he's basically a massive triangle, but I suppose that is the joy of an animated character, isn't it?
Head to
But-
that's a thing.
Yeah,
Head to
yeah.
shoulder shell. Okay.
I mean, you see this guy, right? Like his shoulders just keep going. They just keep going.
I was gonna say there's got to be people in the chat that can comment on this, but he seems like he would have the appearance of like an anime character or something like that.
Oh
that
yeah,
type
no,
of body
I'm
type.
definitely sitting here trying to think. Unfortunately, I don't have my finger on the pulse of anime quite as much as I used to when I was young.
We're gonna get you an answer, and it's gonna be
Yeah,
it's gonna be amazing.
somebody please make a good suggestion.
Oh, yeah, that one of my friends is on the chat. Do you know the group Chromio? Chromio, is it said that way? The music group. Well,
I don't know.
It's two guys. Well, I look super. I'm super. I look like one like the. It's the singer one, or the one that plays the instruments. But yeah, I can shape my hair. I can become whatever I want. I wanted to make a Chappie. Do you know Chappie the movie, the robots?
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to 3D print a helmet and just put it on and add some LEDs and displays. But yeah, that movie came out in 2015, I think. And yeah, I haven't done it yet. So
That'd be a good
more
one.
ideas. I need more ideas. Okay, I'm open.
Hey, can we just get on a different subject really quick? Because I want to ask you about
Yeah.
your filament grinder. Did you guys talk about that already?
No.
The recycling and stuff, because you did the grinder, right? Like
I have it right.
a couple months ago, and
Oh my god, I'm excited about this.
want to make a larger scale one. Like the volume of prints that we're doing right now is bananas and stuff like that. And we need to do this.
Yep.
Okay, this is super heavy. This is actually stainless steel. Okay, I'm going to put it down right now.
What? You can't just hold that in front of the camera for several minutes?
But what have you
10 seconds.
What have you
Okay.
learned? Like, is it effective? Like if you were doing a larger one, like what would you do next time?
Yeah, just for you to know, this shredder, it's open source, and you can ask anybody to make it. It's about the Precious Plastic Initiative. I'm going to put that in.
Yeah, I can only imagine that you're building a veritable mountain of scrap plastic.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've already shredded like 5-10 kilograms, but it's hand powered. And yeah, I need to go to the gym a little bit more.
I was gonna say, is one of your arms getting really beefy from this?
No, I switch.
Switch
a
it
little
off.
bit. After
Sorry.
1 hour, I get tired. But just for anyone if you're interested, hand powered is cool, but you can sort of shred 100 grams of filament, of fail prints every hour. If you are fit, you may do a little bit more. But yeah, I'm transforming it into small, not pellet, but small shredded plastic, and I'm printing with it again. It's working. I'm going to release everything open source. If any of you want to join, you're welcome.
Brilliant.
And in fact, next month, hopefully, I will start asking people to share their designs so I can print them and see which results we can get. So if any of you has any idea, again, send the STL file and I can try it. Well, the 3D printer just broke, so I need to put the pellet extruder on a different 3D printer. But
I really want to see more development in this area, because I think it's really going to help push things forward in terms of recycle. There's so much waste still associated, with it. And I hear it from a lot of people, a lot of times, like, we don't need more plastic, and, a lot of debate about the merits of PLA, and, it's compostable, but not,
But is it really?
not really. And so, honestly, what the stuff that you're doing, in that arena, and I know there's others too, but I would love to see more. Have you tried to motorize it?
Yeah. I don't have the motor, but this design, this shredder design, is actually meant to be hooked to a big motor, so you can shred a lot of plastic every hour. But this was for a project with my students, which are staying home right now, and I couldn't show them how we can recycle plastic. But it's going to hopefully during the next 2 years there will many pellet extruders are going to be available on the market.
Yeah.
Hopefully, because
That's the
right
next
now,
step.
right
It's
now,
one thing to be able to grind it down. You got to be able to turn it back into filament.
I think there's this Rich Wrap open source pellet
Yep.
extruder from 4 years ago, and then we also have the one I got, which is available right now. It's about 500-600 euros. It's not cheap. Okay, it's expensive. Let's put it that way. But hopefully there will be more in the future. Right now you can get some very big chunky extruders, but those are industrial stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't remember the there is a company who is actually making and selling a desktop grinder and then re-extruder, but to get the two of them is 10 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quite literally,
I think
$10,000 a pound to do it.
I think that company is 3D Evo. Not sure if they are from Portugal or from the Netherlands.
Yeah, I want to say they're European.
Yeah, they are definitely from Europe. Their machines are amazing. They are expensive, but again, if you try to certify these products on Europe, it's not actually working. On the precious craft community, I think there's only one company that sells the shredder kits as a legal product, and it's 5,000 euros, I think. This is not cheap at the moment, but I encourage everyone to try things at home. I think Devin from Make Anything. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Devin, yeah.
Devin.
Cool. I didn't mess things up this time. He has tried many things. There's Phil Extruder, as someone points on the chat. There are many options, but it's not cheap. I also made this DIY version on how you can recycle plastic with a
Blender.
shredder.
Yeah. Paper shredder. Grinder.
No, not the grinder. I think it's called a grinder.
Like a coffee grinder. Yeah.
No, close. The one to make smoothies. That's why my project.
A blender. We call it a blender.
Yeah. That's the word. and you can actually melt the plastic in your kitchen oven. Not recommended. And yeah, I learned that the bad way, but yeah, I'm here for that. So, and then you can make some thin plastic sheets. You can laser cut, but again, if you don't have a laser cutting machine, which is expensive, so I'm trying to go down with a budget, €1 or dollar every time, and yeah, it's actually working. This year there should be some options in the market, like you can get everything for €1,000, which is quite cheap compared to other options.
So, sorry, Shane wants to speak.
I'm not trying to interrupt. I'm just gonna bring and you guys stay where you are. I'm not kicking you out. I'm just bringing more people into the discussion.
Oh yeah, it's noon.
Kind of keep that international flow going. We have Das Mia coming in from Germany.
Oh, Mia.
Yay, more European.
Let her in.
We have Cat 3D coming in, and we have, it's either one part or the duo Geektech that are coming in right now. And I'm going to try one button, so I think all three of them will come in at the same time. And yes! 1 second, it's all coming in.
Wow, look at this.
We got... Oh, I'm sorry. We also got
Fernando.
DSK. We got Fernando as well, who just popped on, and I just got them all. So we got the duo. We got everyone here in one shot. Kat, give me a second. Your audio is connecting, and then you'll be good to go.
Is my audio working?
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Last time it just shut down completely because I was on the wrong microphone.
Oh no. Oh no.
So just to follow up on the shredder and the pellet extruder thing, like I think that we're in the space that we are with a lot of things where it's like products are starting to, so it's expensive now, but as there's more development and stuff that'll come out. But I think that I'd be really interested to see if we get some more development around pellet extruding, like at the printer, because that's a way more efficient way to obviously like deliver pellets and stuff like that. If it makes it easier to recycle, if you know, we don't need the spools and, you know, all of that other stuff. But obviously there's a lot of technical considerations that, you know, you have to deal with when you're actually extruding and printing on the fly. But I think it's really an interesting concept, and I think it's definitely something worth exploring. So I hope more companies, you know, kind of step forward and
well,
put more R&D into it.
there are many business opportunities, and I just want to say before we can introduce the new makers on the live stream that pellets are super cheap. In fact, you can pay like €5 or $5 for 1 kilogram of PLA pellets, and for polypropylene and ABS, I think it's even cheaper. So if you have a massive 3D printer or a print farm, pellets are the way to go, I think.
I was actually just going to say, or I was going to mention, Pooch, I am pretty certain, I'm forgetting his name, Teaching Tech out in Australia, did
Michael.
Thank you, Michael. Michael did a much bigger grinder that basically looked almost exactly what Agustin has, but bigger. And he made it.
I hadn't seen that. I need to check that out.
Yeah, no, he did make it. I want to say that it was less than 1,000 Australian dollars to put together, but it was massive. And he was able to grind a ton of stuff at once. So his design, what he put together, might be a little bit more like what you are looking for. That would be useful for getting rid of that mountain of scrap.
I'll look into that. Thank you.
No problem. I'm actually thinking I might need to jump off to go have some dinner. I'm actually going to be back in 2 hours to hang out again. But I'm sorry to say hello and goodbye to some people, but I gotta eat dinner. So I will talk to you all later. It was so nice to meet you all. It was so nice to meet you, Agustin. I hope that the teaching goes well, and I can only imagine that this is a bit of a tricky time to be teaching 3D printing remotely, but it sounds like you've got a great hand on it. So I have every faith in you. All right, everyone. I shall perhaps see some of y'all later, but otherwise, have a great one. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Enjoy dinner. I want takeaway.
I'm going to stay 10 more minutes, but I also want some dinner. So, but yeah, I want to chat with you.
Food chat.
It's a hard decision.
All right, so to everyone who joined in rapidly and all of a sudden that was my fault, or whatever, but I just want to welcome Kat, the Geektech couple, Dasmia, and now Fernando. I didn't butcher your name. Do you want me to address you by your real name or your online name, or how would you like to do it?
Name's Fernando, but online I would go by DSK001. So either one.
Okay.
All good.
And as far as the new people on board, for those of you who don't know who you are, can you give a little quick introduction? Das.
Nice, Kat.
Anyone?
But tell them where to start.
Wherever. Das, go ahead.
Das Mia or Mia is fine, okay.
Sorry.
It's all right, no problem. As long as I know that you mean me, everything is fine. I listen to many names, so it's okay.
I listen to many voices in my head, so I understand.
Perfect. So where to begin? I'm Dasmia. Most of you, if you know me from Twitter. I'm creating my own models. I'm into 3D printing since about 3 years now, I guess, I think. And mostly I'm doing colorful stuff, multi-material printing, stuff like that.
She's being humble. She does some amazing stuff, and not just 3D printing either. We've seen Pineco pants and all kinds of other mixed media, like because you do some. You're sewing. Don't you do like some fabric work? Like Kat does this as well, right? Some work with fabric and other things. Yeah, maker, just
I
general
believe I remember seeing some purses.
purses. Well, Kat certainly did purses.
Yes.
Yeah,
Beautiful
only,
one.
only one I did. Yeah,
Purse.
so should I go on? Should I continue? Yeah,
Yes.
so my name is Katja in real world, and here on social media I'm Kat3D, and my day job is being a dental technician. I used to be a dental trainer, giving courses, but lately I was able to get a real fascinating job because I was able to go and work now for the R&D that's my company has, and there I'm going to be working on additive manufacturing, researching on stuff. So I'm very happy. And on the and at home I'm 3D printing all kind of stuff, but I'm not as creative as Mia is.
Yes, you are. Of course
no,
you are.
No, not yeah.
Ladies, you're both very creative.
Yeah, I still have not casted. I want to cast in the future, but at the moment I'm very, very busy. I joined in a hub that we just created here recently, and I'm part of this movement. I have to stand up so that you can see it. Maker versus virus. So this is the European or the German-speaking part of the movement where we make these face shields. Yeah. Pooch, you know very much about it. So yeah, I'm printing day and night. I even have reactivated the Tebo Tarantula that Stefan Hermann gave me last year, and I'm really astonished that it doesn't print that bad as I thought it would be. And yeah, so it takes up all my time at the moment, but yeah, it's for a good purpose. And the local I don't know what it's called in English, you know, where with the disabled work, they have to get the ability to learn a job, and the co-workers and the workers there, they now ordered 210 face shields, and we're 3 people. And they want it until the 11th of May, so we're really, really busy.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're getting involved. I mean, it's amazing seeing just how many efforts there are all over the world in this whole effort. And it's you talk about work with purpose too. I don't think that people focus on that enough, but I think that's a really important part of the whole thing. That people feel like they're contributing in a meaningful way, and that has a lot of value as well.
Yeah.
Okay, how about the lovely Geektech couple?
That's
us.
Yes, that's you.
We're having audio issues. So
Slight
we're
audio
using
problem.
one headset, so hearing's a little interesting.
It's fine.
Yeah. So those of you who don't know who we are, we're Geektech. We run a small YouTube channel. We do a lot of 3D printing, woodworking, paper craft. I think there's a cameo back there for other crafty bits as well. We're just all around makers in general. So what are you working on now?
Me, I'm working on a giant cross stitch that's going to take 6 yards of fabric.
Oh wow!
6 inches wide. I'm making a pattern for that, and otherwise trying to stay sane.
And I've been doing a lot of design work for stuff that's going to go up for our Patreon, and then a bunch of stuff I'm going to be releasing onto a couple of the different sites here soon. With the whole mask pandemic, I'm creating 3D models for like Scorpion's mask or stuff from Batman that people can put on over their little masks, since everybody's wearing them anyways.
Mask
I
of
was a little
fashion.
geeky while I'm at it.
That's really cool. Yeah, I printed a face shield, you know, a tiny version for a girl, and I put a clip on it with one of my flowers, you know, which Mia inspired me to make, and I put on there so she doesn't feel maybe she doesn't like to wear it, but her mom makes her wear it, and at least has a flower on it. Yes, I think something like that, isn't it?
Beautiful.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So is it something like that you put on the mask like that?
You talk.
So is it what do you have an example there? So the clip on, how does it work?
I can pull one up. I don't have one printed right now because for the last couple of days I've been helping my brother redo his living room and stuff because we're all stuck at home anyways. Why not?
Yeah.
But here shortly after everybody does their introductions and everything, I can pull up a screen share and show a couple of the models I'm working on if that's okay with
That
everybody.
would be cool. That would be really cool.
Is that based on like the Wexter, the Sub-Zero, and I'm assuming it's the same as the Scorpion one? Yeah, that's cool. So getting the fitment right on that, like, I don't know because I know a lot of the drama around the 3D printed masks originally was like if you're actually getting a seal and like how people need to convey what the expectation should be in terms of effectiveness of a 3D printed
right.
mask.
And they're based off of this, like it's a standard mask that's supposed to have the little respirator caps on the inside. I'm going to be providing links to where everybody can get this stuff. I mean, it's fairly cheap to get because right now getting masks is hard, but getting the replacement pieces for the masks is actually quite easy. At least it has been in my experience recently. But the way that they should work is in the instructions that I'm going to be putting out, there's going to be where you can get little EVA foam to create a better grip around your face if you need to. And there's links to Michaels and Amazon on the EVA foam that we got. But essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create something that looks better than a bunch of essentially fabric on your face. I mean, I'm trying to go as geeky as I can with it.
I mean, debatable. Some people look fabulous with fabric on their face.
Sure, and that's fine. I mean, I don't. Knowing my luck, I'm going to go through all this, and it's going to be like, all right, it works. It's over. So it is what it is. I mean,
I'd wear that out in the garage when I'm woodworking. I mean, like, it doesn't. There's no reason that
Well, yeah, that's essentially where my plan was going. Is I was trying to find something better that I could use when I was out doing other stuff. Just because you end up with these big white plastic things when you're working with wood, and I can't see, my glasses fog up. So I was trying to do something better, and since I was doing something better, make it look cool.
I think it's great.
And even when we're printing with resin, and then we will look at more stylish.
Yeah,
exactly. For resin printing, this would be perfect. It would look great because I always have this giant mask with the two cartouchen. What are they called? The pieces where the filter. Yes.
Filter pieces.
You almost can't breathe in those things, and they're sitting so tight, and it's horrible.
So I want to say that I'm hungry. I'm going to leave for now, but I want to mention that those masks designs are great. It's functional cosplay, and I totally approve that, and I'm going to print that stuff.
Floristico approved. I love it.
Perfect.
I'm going to leave. I'm going to have some dinner, and hopefully I will be able to join tomorrow morning. So when you're all sleeping in the US. So talk to you soon. You're great, and hopefully I will still watch this in some hours. Cool.
All right. See ya.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.
Chatting with you, buddy.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Have a nice dinner.
So what Mia and Kat, what are the, so Kat, you mentioned you're doing some PPE work. What projects are you working on right now, Mia?
Right now, I'm also printing face shields for Maker versus Virus. So most projects I'm working on are just in theory or 3D models, basically. I wasn't able to print them because my Pooch is busy all the time. But what I'm working on is I got inspired by painting and stuff like that. I'm really bad at painting, but I love the painting utensils and stuff like that. And I always wanted to have an easel. And so I started to create a miniature one, which should, in theory, work. And I want to make little frames where you can make your own canvas with them, so you can paint tiny little pictures on your tiny little easel if it works. But it's not tested yet, so I can't show anything, unfortunately.
And Fernando, you've done some pretty interesting work. You know, we chatted like briefly at what Earth was it last
Yes,
year?
we did meet at Earth. You had to go to one of those speeches, but we spoke for a few minutes.
Yep.
I know my design definitely sparked some fires on your live stream.
You did some cool mashup stuff when we were talking about your collision of the Star Wars, Star Trek universe, right? You were doing the stuff with the Enterprise, and you've done a ton of other stuff too. But anything you're particularly working on right now?
Small ones that I've done recently I can show off here.
Yeah,
I've been doing the Batman vehicles. So I have here the 1989 Batmobile.
Ooh, that's clean.
I also have the animated series Batmobile.
All right.
And the Batwings to go along with it.
Those are great.
Whoops.
Great.
Be careful.
They survived. They're good. Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of 3D modeling, and most of it is up for free on Thingiverse or Prusa printers.
That's great.
Nice.
Do you use both, or do you put some on each, or how do you usually?
If I put it up on one, I try to put it up on all of them. So
Right.
Prusa printers, Thingiverse, My Mini Factory, and Pulse.
Cool. I wonder if Prusa printer, you know, when that came out, if that inspired Thingiverse to finally get their act together and getting Thingiverse a little more functional.
I hope it's what ignited their fire. I know
it seems like it's a little better. Yeah. So that's good to see, right? Little competition never hurts.
Yeah, exactly. They've had quite the monopoly. We'll see how it goes from here.
That's great. That's great. So lots of PPE printing happening and stuff. And Kat, who organized the Makers versus Virus thing there? Is that just been a group of people that have kind of come together? How are you guys organized?
Yeah, so there's a web page, and there you see a map, and there you see the hubs. You know, you can decide to make if you're in a big city and you have like a maker space, a fab lab or something. You can say, okay, I want to do the hub thing, and then everybody around you delivers you the face shields, and you are like the center of you know, you send them out, and the doctors call you the hub, you know, so you're the responsible person. And it's in all German-speaking countries, you know, it's in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and now also in Liechtenstein. And there it's organized by a fab lab that I know, you know. But we're not visible on the map yet. Takes some days.
Sounds like a very efficient way to go about doing things. The hub and spoke model. I mean, given that, you know, we're trying to do regional response, obviously the closer you put people to where they're going, the better. That's great.
And the hub is also responsible for checking the quality. Mm-hmm. You know, they test, and if it cracks somewhere or fails, then they don't take it, you know. And
So I know. Go ahead.
Excuse me. I think it was organized a guy, three guys, and one of them is the creator of Make Munich. It's the biggest exhibition or maker fair. Let's call it maker fair, around 3D printing and electronics. Yeah, Make Munich. I haven't been there yet, but it seems to be huge.
1 second. I got someone in the waiting room. It might. 1 second. Hold on.
Surprise! I love surprises. Who doesn't
Yeah,
love surprises?
I honestly don't know who it is because I'm trying to figure it out. And
Are we gonna get Zoom bombed? This sounds dangerous.
That's what I'm kind of like. Okay, do I do this
Can't
or
you
not?
preview who this is first?
I can't.
But if the person has the link,
If they have the
then,
link.
you must send them the
Right,
invitation.
There's
We're gonna give this a shot.
So.
We're gonna give this a shot, but I hold no responsibility or anything else.
Isn't it your stream? That's all your responsibility.
Okay. Oh yeah, you can't pass off responsibility for your own stream.
Yeah.
David.
Oh, thank goodness, it's just David.
David.
Joel.
Okay, Mr. Joseph Telling, who is AKA David.
Jolson.
Jolson. I know.
That is cool.
You're in the chat
Apparently I'm
as
David.
Cool.
Yes.
Surprise.
You're on David's school computer?
Dude, I'm so sorry. I'm sitting there. I'm like, who the hell is David? And I'm messaging
It's
Joel.
amazing. I'm like,
"Are
why aren't you
David?"
letting me in? What happened? Why aren't you letting me in? It's come on. I'm cool. Cool. I've got
I know you're cool, sir.
my name's on the list.
It is. You have an invite. And I'm sitting there like, who's David? I'm going through everyone. I'm like, I don't have a David on the list.
And then you pinged me and you're like, is David your producer? I'm like, no.
Okay, well, no, because I thought it was like, the other half of you, but
Joel.
I swear to you're in there as Dave. And I'm like,
There.
who's Dave?
There.
There we go.
Really?
That's a good
I
one.
thought it was gonna be like the statue of David with a nice fig leaf, just for.
Poor
Yeah,
Jake.
that'd be a bit classy, but
No, shirts are required, but pants aren't. So we're not doing that.
Exactly.
pants optional, baby. Pants optional.
But we could also talk about the hair. I haven't been for the hairdresser now for 4 or 5 weeks. Does everybody also feel very, very awful up here?
I miss haircuts so much.
We live with my wife's parents next door, and my wife's mom is a hairdresser, and we have a hair studio in the house.
Good.
Lucky you.
Yeah, I can get my hairs cut. I can get my nails did. Really.
I'm jealous.
All out.
Quarantining at my house is honestly one of the best things ever.
Is there waxing, Joel? Is there waxing too?
There could be.
Yes. Fantastic.
Ouch!
Oh, man.
I don't need that.
That was a pleasant Zoom bombing. I loved it.
Apparently.
Yes.
I'm using the RTX voice thing because I've got fans in here that are running. But is the audio okay?
Yeah,
Can't
it's
hear a fan
wonderful.
at all.
Hear any
It's
fan?
great.
Good noise canceling.
Awesome. Wait, let's see. Ready? I'm going to pound the desk.
Sounds like you're tapping the desk.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like pounding.
Awesome. All right, cool.
What is that? A filter? Is it actually the hardware itself? What is the RTX thing?
So NVIDIA released the RTX Voice because they have their RTX video cards, the higher end GPUs, and it does some sort of crazy software stuff to filter out noise and just pay attention to spoken word. But it's really cool because NVIDIA's like, yo, it's for the high end stuff. And someone said all you have to do is remove this little don't install on older cards essentially constriction, and then it works. And so yeah, I'm running like an older video card and it works just fine.
Huh. Good tip.
And then it works. It works. I guess.
I don't even have a video card.
Like, can you disable it so we can hear like the fans?
Sure.
And what it's actually doing.
Sure. Okay. So.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a
So
big
noise
difference.
suppression is off now. Can you hear stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So here's me. I'm tapping, and this is loud, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go, and it's on right now.
And it's gone.
That
is some good stuff.
That's
Cool.
Wow.
Okay. I'm glad it works.
Links
All right,
links in the description.
We need that.
Well, I've always been fearful of running a bunch of machines in here just because this is where I need to record some audio or stream or have video conferences. And my server's in here with a bunch of fans in it as well. And this software is great because then it allows me to essentially have working things in the room where I need to do audio recording. I'm going to do some tests though because my GMAX 2 is loud. The Piopoly Phenom is way loud. I'm gonna see if it'll filter out printer noises.
Is that Unraid still in there? Because that thing was loud when it was. That's what we were hearing when it was off. Yeah.
It's right over there.
Yep.
wow.
Right
Yeah, that's a
there.
loud server rack full of.
Yes, it is. It's super duper loud. Oh, good. I'm glad this works. This means that I don't have to worry about anything.
You can put it on old cards too. You say.
Old NVIDIA GPUs. So
NVIDIA GPUs. Okay.
I'm running a 1070 in this machine. People have run it on the 5X or 6X card. I don't know. It gets really techie and way more than I want to get. I just know it works.
GPUs are amazing things.
I think so.
Do all sorts of cool stuff like it. Yeah.
How's everybody doing? What's going on?
Man, we've been talking about.
Good.
Yeah, great.
I like Pooch's shirt, and I have that shirt, and so I was looking around the house to try to find it. And I was going to join on and be like, I did get the memo. What?
Twins.
What is it all about?
This is from Oregon Trail. This is like one of the oldest. Well, I don't know if it's the oldest video, but an old school video game that was very text based with a little bit of graphics back in the day.
I played it on the Apple IIe.
Yep.
And the idea was you had to get people across the nation of the U.S., but way back in what, the 1700s, the 1600s,
the covered wagon days, yeah. And then I remember, you'd play that, and all we wanted to do was hunt. Like the later version, like you could actually like try to shoot the little deer as they were jumping by.
That's right.
And then it was always like, you have more meat than you can carry because all anybody wanted to do was shoot the deer.
You would hit the space bar, and you'd see the bullet go tick, 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 and then it would hit a deer, and the deer would blink, and then you'd have meat.
Yeah.
Just like real life.
I think at least one wagon into the river going across.
Right.
At least one.
Ford, your wagon, trying to ford the river. You'd lose wagons fording the river.
Yeah,
rough times back then. Yeah.
Well, that's why you died of dysentery. So then in the game, you could just die a horrible death. And
it's not a good way to go, I imagine.
Really not a good way to go.
But these were the trials and tribulations of the frontier movement of the day.
Try to get more light. I feel like I'm dark.
What does everybody else have on his t-shirts?
Oh, mine is.
Got there.
You can see this.
Optimus Prime.
It's Optimus with the Dinobots doing the Chris Pratt Jurassic Park thing with his Velociraptors. Saying,
"Oh, that's nice.
That's awesome.
That's solid." Joel always has the best shirts.
That's
man.
good.
He gets the best shirts.
That's nice.
Yeah.
One year, my wife wanted to buy me shirts for Christmas, and she just went online and typed in to Google "poop shirt," and that's what she shopped from.
That's got you covered for weeks, right?
Honestly,
yeah.
And other ones?
I've got the Evan and Caitlin shirt on that says "Choose your weapons," but they're all tools.
Quality.
Oh,
Quality.
cool.
I like that one.
Are they 8-bit? Are they 8-bit tools? Is that
They're
what?
pixels, yes.
Yeah, I like it.
Cool.
Very nice.
I suggested that they need to remake it with a 3D printer because they don't have my favorite tool.
It should just be choose your tool, and it should just be varying grits of sandpaper.
For my money, it doesn't get better than an 80 grit. I'm an 80 grit guy. I like a rough sand because I'm broad strokes. I told you, Pooch doesn't sand. Other half hashtag. It's either that or the wet sand, really fine grit. Micro mesh stuff, sure.
Right. You don't want to go through the 10 or 15 steps of grit. You just want 80 grit to really hog away the
3,000 grit.
And then 3,000 just to finish it. And you're like, I'm done. Done.
Nothing in between.
And Geektech, I can see that you're also wearing shirts with nice stuff on them.
Yeah,
Your
I'm wearing
t-shirts.
Big Hero 6 because I'm a big Disney fan, and it's my favorite scene of Harry Baby.
Yeah, perfect.
We have a lot of cats. You'll eventually see one in here.
Oh, yeah. And you?
I'm just wearing one of my mini support the troops shirts that I have.
Whoa.
What's the?
That's dramatic, Joel. Very dramatic.
Considering 5 minutes before the we jumped on, he was out in the shop.
Just
So
hold it.
Yeah.
I mean, that does make a big difference, but that can't be very practical to just hold a light like
Yeah, hold the light up for 2 hours.
Joe, what the heck are you doing?
It's just
This
like
is a
the
light.
car.
This is just a light.
Body-
I need to give this to Geektech. You guys are dark. I just need to send a little your way.
Yeah. Turn it this
Yeah.
way.
send your address.
Can somebody check Joe?
You got it? There it is. Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
And Mia, do you have anything on your
Pooch,
shirt?
get out of mirror. Get out of mirror, Pooch.
It's a hoodie.
Can I light them?
What? What? You have the same lamps. You have a hobbit on your shirt.
No,
Hey guys, 1 second. While you guys
okay.
are doing the light stuff, okay?
That is cool.
it's a cat
So
hoodie.
that's a kitty
Oh, that's
cat.
You're making Shane angry,
That's
everybody.
cool.
Everybody
No,
be
you're
quiet.
not. Nope. You're not
Shane
making
wants
me
to
angry.
speak.
No,
Let
you
Shane
guys are
speak.
making my job easy. I just have to sit back and do stuff in the background. But we got someone else who's been dying to get in and who hasn't been around in quite some time, who is a very well-known, beloved member of the community. And so, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, who is it? Mr.
It's a mister. It's a mister.
Yes, it's a mister.
Drum roll. Joel, don't do the drum roll. We won't hear it.
Ooh.
Oh!
Joe might
Coming from
Joe?
his, flying his
That is
G6
interesting.
into the frame here.
Joe, Top Gun. What's going on here?
Flying high.
I like you because you're dangerous.
You gotta unmute your mic.
Joe just recorded a video of him looking around, and he's
He
just
looks
playing
lost.
the video.
He looks a little lost.
It's been so long he forgot how to do this.
I had to put my glasses on because of all the bright lights that were coming out of the
Oh, I
screen.
see. I see what you did there.
How are you
Burning
doing?
images into my retina.
There are so many people.
There he is. Look at that.
know.
Swipe right.
Well,
So the beard is back.
no, well, I mean, this is just like a week.
The Rona beard.
Yeah, it's a Rona beard.
Ronabeard.
I am not hungover and I am not in the bath.
Hey, man, moving
Were
up
those
to
our
the
two
right now.
options?
But they're known.
It's not. They're not mutually exclusive, Joel. You can be.
They really
I've been
are.
hungover in a bath before.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
It's the best place to be.
Hot tub, not just a regular bath. It has to be a hot tub.
Oh, I would love a hot tub, man. Oh, man.
This live stream brought to you by Coca-Cola.
I would like to go swimming, but no chance.
It's just like you. It's just like you, Joe. Just getting those, Joe Mike, getting those product placement dollars, and like, yeah.
What? What are you talking about?
Oh, Kansas City. Yeah, we were talking about T-shirts and what's printed on them. So that's yours then.
90% of my T-shirts have something Kansas City or Missouri related on them.
Oh yeah.
My feed is brought to you by the good people at Fiskars. Fiskars. You can't see it.
Ooh.
Whatever. It says office too, so you don't steal my office scissors.
They make a high quality cutting product.
Shear. I have some really great lopping shears as well. You know, all your cutting appurtenances.
Lopping? Did you say lopping?
Lopping shears. You know, when you're out cutting the bushes, man. Lopping.
Is that what those are called?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That thing will
Literal
cut through
name
like a
for it?
2-inch branch. You want a toe? I'll get you a toe.
Maybe that's what you need to cut up the filament.
That'd be some thick, ropey filament. Yeah, you could. Thing's a monster. It's all geared and stuff. Zach, bring me my lopping shears.
Fetch my lopping shears.
Wait, does Zach bring everything? I'm kind of thirsty. You could use a sandwich.
You're thirsty? You could use a sandwich. We need to get Flowlystic's blender in here so we can blend up a sandwich for Joel.
That's right. That's not the kind of smoothie I want.
Can you go get my lopping shears, please? I'm going to see how this works.
Start
Yeah,
pulling
yeah,
Squire.
they're gonna
It's
come
like-
in and ask if you're okay mentally.
Squire,
We'll
fetch me
definitely give
I
you a
just-
haircut in one.
I want to remember that. Like, those are words in the English language I never thought I'd hear put together. Zach, bring me my lopping shears.
The in the corner.
I need to put that on a T-shirt.
Fetch me my lopping shears. Bathe her and bring her to me. It's like the old.
Fetch me a bagel.
Yeah. Everybody should have a gopher like that, right? We'll see. Who knows what he's going to show up with, though? You know, it's anybody's guess.
I'm currently
You guys know what
raising
you're talking
mine.
about, right?
Oh, well, we're gonna see. He went out into the garage. I'm gonna see what he comes back with. It could be anything. It could be something amazing.
Big surprise.
Maybe it'll be a sandwich and something to drink. That'd be cool.
I got a bag full of Panera. The good folk at Panera have been providing us some lunches and stuff. They do
that's fantastic.
What's amazing too is they make a sandwich, but they don't cut the sandwich in half and wrap it. They just make a second sandwich and put it in there, so you have two, normal human-sized bread sandwiches. Oh, look! Look! It worked. Ta-da! Come here. Why? What is happening? What is happening here?
Protopasta is in here.
Turn down.
Apparently, we're doing a little dress up. Look at these monsters right here. Look at here. You can't appreciate the geared action right here.
Oh man, those would cut bone.
It would literally. This is like
heavy-duty.
Civil War amputation lopping shears.
Oh man.
Pooch, show the brand. Show the brand.
Oh yeah, good. Thank you to the good people at Fiskars.
Again.
Is it
liquor
backwards?
in cutting products. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, power. That's the Power Gear 2. Let me tell you a good story about these. So my Power Gear 1 that I had, the OG, it was titanium as well, but I was getting Western with it and trying to cut through something probably bigger than it should have, and it literally like broke off, like right at the bolt here because it's stress point. And I emailed them, and they're like, "We're going to send you the new model. You're going to love it." And they did, and that's what this is. So I got
Getting Western with it.
Western with it. I learned that from my buddy from Wyoming. He would love to say that you got to get Western with it. I don't know what getting Eastern would entail, but getting Western, just like throw some muscle into it,
Eastern would be calling somebody else to do it.
We live in
Maybe? I don't know.
I call you to do it.
Getting Midwestern with it would just be not doing it and going out and getting something to eat.
There you go. It's cowboy talk.
I put it on Twitter. It's okay.
We're learning a lot here. We're lopping shears and getting Western with it.
No.
That's not getting Western. That's a different song.
I'm going to see what else I can get Zach to bring.
Well, it's changed in my head now and forevermore.
Zach, get me a floor jack.
What's a floor jack?
I'm just wondering how much stuff he can get him to bring him by the end of the stream.
There's a lot of there's a lot of stuff out in that garage. Yeah.
It's great that he knows what all of these are. I know I would ask some of my cousins and be like, "What?"
I taught him. I gave him the angle grinder yesterday because we were sharpening the blades on the lawnmower. It's lawn mowing season now, and he'd never used an angle grinder before, and so of course metal sparks, amazing. And then he was like, "Grind all the things!" Like every opportunity he could get to grind metal. I'm like trying to find scrap metal for him to just grind out. Of course,
get a board with a bunch of really big bolts through it, and just be like, "I want you to grind these all down."
Yeah. See, why I don't need to sand. I've got people to do that for me now with power tools, power sander.
I was like, the first time I got my Dremel.
That's a big step from 80 grit sandpaper to
What
an
are you
angle
bringing
grinder.
me? Oh, it's I'm not going to describe the floor jack. What's the floor jack? Don't worry about that. I was joking. What else is? I'll think of something else. Let's see. We'll quiz your knowledge of tools. How about a hacksaw?
You could take recommendations from the chat.
My mouth. Oh yeah. You want to play What's in Pooch's Garage?
Exactly.
What do we got?
Did I hear hacksaw?
There you go. Give me an armadillo.
An armadillo.
It'd be awesome if he actually came back with one. Like, wow.
Those don't even exist around here. If he comes back with an armadillo, that'd be amazing.
You need to rent him out then, because you'd make a killing. Just bringing people home.
Renting out armadillo? Is that
no? Just bring Zach and dude, find my keys, and he just goes and finds
the gopher. Yeah, you don't need those little tile find my things anymore. You just send a child after.
Send a child.
It'll never. They'll come back with something you didn't ask for or whatever. You never know.
They're probably the ones who took the keys to begin with.
That's a good point. Actually, I should ask them to find the Apple TV remote because we still don't know what that is.
No, there's a special gate sub-dimension where all the Apple TV remotes go.
Okay, that's
right next to the dimension
tool.
of socks.
That's
I
right.
think the Roku ones go in there as well.
Yeah.
No. The big
It's a
Roku
good
one,
try.
the one that's got the little square box, has a button on it, and if you push it, it rings the remote, and the remote makes a sound.
Okay.
But it's a high-pitched sound, which makes it sound like it's coming from everywhere. And so, I mean, they had a good idea. They just implemented it terribly.
Watching the video.
You brought me an oscillating tool. A very useful tool, by the way. If you don't have an oscillating tool, I highly recommend them. But that is not.
That was originally the Fine Multimaster.
You're one. That's right. The what was it? The Fine.
The Fine Multimaster. Yeah.
So you're gonna go do some yard work, and then you're gonna go do some tile work.
Put that back.
Yep.
It's gonna be a productive Saturday for.
Oh, that you can do all kinds of stuff with the multi-tool beyond tile and stuff. That had the wood blade on it right there, but a lot of drywall, a lot of door trim.
Wood blade.
Mm-hmm. Metal. You
Pooch,
do metal
what you're
work?
saying is next time I remodel my house, I got to call you and just tell you to bring the garage.
You should, honestly. I've done it. It's incredible.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to bring his garage actually, the entire way across the country.
I mean, how much money you got? It's
Not that much.
Just plan for a round of Earth. He's coming out here anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I should have him bring me the spool racer. That'd be impressive. That's up in the attic. I don't think he even knows where that is.
Watch it show up.
In parts. Yeah.
Either that, or you just hear like a.
Bring me the laser cutter.
From the ceiling.
Zach.
Yeah, it's in the red metal cabinet, but I really don't want you bringing the floor jack in here. It's greasy and gross. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, yeah. Yeah, get my garage on wheels. Now there is some cool stuff out there. There was a laser cutter in there. We moved it though. Moved it for being more efficient with our operation here. A little bit of everything. So, Joel, what are you printing these days? So first of all, tell us about the news, and now that you're becoming like a 3D printing newscaster, what it's like working off a teleprompter and all these things that are new to you, man.
Let's see. Well, the new show, Today in 3D Printing, I've had this idea for like a year and a half, and I registered the domain a long time ago. And I always thought it would be interesting to be able to bring the stories within 3D printing, whether they're consumer-based or hobby-based or industrial-based, right? The idea is just to bring these really cool, inspiring, awesome things to people and then have them watch them. And then with everybody kind of staying home a little bit more than before, and with companies having stuff they want to talk about, but no big conventions to really get the information out, I was like, well, should we do this? And then David and Sean were like, sure, let's do this. And so Sean put together this graphics package because apparently that's a thing and he knows how to do that. I don't know how to do that, but he did. He put it together and it looks great. And we each get assigned a story, we research it, and then we write out an outline. And then I create from that a shoot script, which then gets uploaded to the teleprompter, which is blowing my mind. I love it. Everything I ever did on my channel before has always been just off the top of my head, and I would try to organize thoughts in my head and then spit them out into a microphone. But with this, right, with a new show, names and places and certain things, I really don't want to get wrong. So that's why we went with a teleprompter. I just used an old iPad, and it works great. So we filmed that, and Sean puts it together with the green screen and the graphics elements, and then we put it out. And it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. If you haven't read from a teleprompter, at first it's a little jarring, and then it just feels really, really good. Really good.
So wait, it's this week in 3D printing?
It's Today in 3D Printing.
Today in 3D printing. Is it
Today in 3D Printing?
Okay. So does it fall under the TWIT umbrella, or is this just something you guys are doing on your own?
This is something that we're doing on our own. So it's just I registered the domain like a year and a half ago as a thought of, hey, this sounds like a cool idea, and then we just decided to implement it. Yeah. So I wanted to get a few episodes under our belt before we reached out to news organizations like Sarah Gerke over at Fabaloo. She's a good friend of mine, and I want to have a really good sort of news relationship with them so that maybe we could feature stories that they have. The problem is putting together that episode is always a ton of work just because of all the compositing that needs to happen, the graphics and the overlays. So hopefully it sees a few more views than what it's getting right now, just to make it feel like it's more worth it. Everybody that watches it, though, all the comments are really positive. So I don't know. We'll keep doing it as long as we can.
I mean, tell me more about this graphics package. Like, do you give it to people and say, hey, check out my graphics package? Like, what is the graphics package?
Family friendly.
Check out my graphics package.
I want to know what is a graphics package?
Have a look at my graphics package.
Listen, I really want you to take a close look at my graphics package here.
It is, imagine taking a few colors and then assigning them to graphics or motion graphics or things that appear on screen.
Yeah.
And then having certain templates for certain types of things. So if I'm reading off a quote, there's a way that it appears on screen and in certain colors. And so that's part of that. Imagine a graphics package as a way of creating these individualized footage elements that help tell the story. And so when you're going through a script, you can say, this, I need this. And then this part, I'm going to use this. And then
it's a style guide. So like in web
it's like a style
guide.
guide. Yeah.
Or whatever,
very, very similar.
Your color schemes and your font sizes and your, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
Similar,
in a way, it'd be like a PowerPoint template, but for video.
Sure. I hate PowerPoint, but it makes sense.
Who doesn't?
That makes sense. Yeah, kind of like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's what we're trying. And then I have a publicly available email address that people can then send news tips to. And then some people have sent some stuff, which has led to stories that we've shown on air, and it's worked out really well. It's a lot of fun, and there's been a really positive response, and so I hope we're able to continue doing it.
I'm just going to send you a picture of my cat every day.
Please. If you could 3D print the armor for it, I would totally feature that.
Armored cat.
Oh my gosh, that is the same cat.
That's the same cat from the armor, the one that the original cat armor?
No. Oh, no. Oh. No, so when I was doing YouTube, like I did like a little stupid sketch where I put a kitten on my giant FT5 and was like, stand still, because I was going to print the cat armor around it. But not really. It was a sketch.
Sure.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand.
But we had to get rid of that kitten. We had to get rid of that kitten because our dog didn't like it, but we ended up getting rid of our dog.
Get rid of the kitten?
We had to give it back to its foster parents, who we got it from.
To live on a farm.
No.
Okay.
We didn't have to Italian it. No. So basically,
poor cat.
Jeez.
This got dark.
I'm Italian.
I didn't say
okay.
There are too many cat lovers here, so
no.
Giving you...
That's why it's funny to ask a cat to stand still or do anything for that matter.
It has a happy ending.
Why I pour plastic around you.
Glue her to the
It has a very happy ending, I swear.
Trying to make it better and it gets worse and worse.
Our dog hated our daughter when she was born, so we actually ended up having to put our dog up for adoption. And we ended up getting a cat instead. And the cat that we ended up getting not more than a month and a half ago, exact same one, exact same kitten. She went into foster care. She found parents, had to come back into foster care, and then we got him back.
I read that. That is so lovely. Yeah, I remember.
Happy story all around. I told you it has a happy ending.
Yeah, happy ending.
Impressive that the cat was
happy ending.
It's not like it's over yet. Time will tell if there is a happy ending, Joe Mike.
I don't know, but this cat will literally let my almost 2-year-old daughter just flop on the cat, and he'll just sit there, and my daughter's like, Gus. So that's a winner in my book.
That's pretty fantastic.
It is.
Closest my cats will let the kids get to them is, you can pet me, kinda, and then I'm going to try to eat you.
Oh. Yeah, well, it's good you're building up like an allergic tolerance to the cat and stuff, because I didn't have that growing up, and now I'm like deathly allergic to cats. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's a pity. You're,
Yeah, if
you really mean
our littlest
something.
one is allergic to cats, we did something wrong because there's, what, 5 cats in this house right now?
Only 2 of them are
that's a lot of cats.
That is a lot of
My
cats.
husband is also allergic to cats, but he loves them so much he just lives with the
He
effect it has on him.
just suffers through the cat.
He really suffers,
allergy.
but it's worth it for him because like his babies. One of them just recently found out that he is sugar disease. He needs insulin, so we're giving him
diabetes.
Diabetes. My God, he has diabetes, so we have to give him shot twice a day. This is a real cat love.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is.
But
that is.
It's okay. It's okay.
I have
So
a question
yeah.
about how many cats are you allowed to have before you're classified as a cat lady or a cat? I don't know if there's a male equivalent.
I was
Isn't
just
that a
going to
pretty
ask
high
how many
number?
how many constitute a herd? At what point are you a cat rancher?
One?
What is a rancher?
Herding cat. You've heard the term herding cats
cat.
before, cat? Herding
We can
cats?
do that.
I believe it when I see it.
Have you
heard that phrase? Yeah.
Got
I'll
me some
upload a video
50
just
head
for
of
you,
cat.
Pooch. I can herd cats.
Yeah.
Cat wrangler.
He can also hypnotize them. He's the only person I've seen who can get a cat that makes baths into the water, out of the water, dried off, and then purring afterwards.
All right.
That's the magic right there.
Mm-hmm.
Have you
What
considered
dark sorcery is this?
Have you considered opening up a tiger farm?
Tiger farm.
He doesn't get the reference. He doesn't do social media very often.
Augustine says 5 cats equals 1 crazy cat owner. So he says 5.
Okay.
He says 5 is the limit, and you're crazy. So you guys.
We
are
only own
certifiable.
2. The other 3 are somebody else's, so I'm good.
Oh, no,
Ten
you're
is
acquiring. Cats are just appearing. That's not good.
No, our roommates have cats.
Okay.
So at 10, you're a rancher / cat boy.
I just keep.
So
I keep thinking of that woman from The Simpsons that like hurls cat.
Crazy cat lady.
The crazy
I got me some 50 head of cat out back.
Yeah.
I got calico. I got coon cat. I
You guys
got.
looking for a Siamese? I got a Siamese.
Popcorn shrimp, bubblegum shrimp.
Rare around these parts.
Joel, you guys have your dogs. You don't have any cats.
We have 2 dogs. We had cats originally, and then I built up an allergy to them, so then we no longer have cats.
You developed
You
developed
built
the opposite.
up an allergy.
Yeah.
Well, your
Oh,
body
that's
gets
a pity.
exposed to them, and it's like, I decide I do not like these things.
Just,
and
I guess, continual exposure over time. Just, it was one of those things. Like, I've had cats growing up, and then we had cats originally, and then I just started getting stuffy nose, and then really stuffy nose, and then like wheezing, and it's like I could either have this, or we could give the cats away to a caring home and not have cats. And so we don't have cats.
you have a very patient husband there, Kat, because my throat closes up. So it's like, given the choice of having cats or dying, I choose not having cats. But maybe that's just me.
He has asthma, and with the cats, it's worse. Because when he goes on a business trip, he can feel that he feels much better. And once he comes back, no matter how we cleanly keep the house, he can feel the load on his chest, and he takes.
I hope that doesn't get worse. That's no fun.
No,
I feel for him.
No, his cats are 16 and 17 years old. So
Wow.
That's pretty old for a cat, right?
That is old for a cat.
Yeah.
Very old.
We just had one that passed away recently, and he was 18, 19 years old.
Wow.
He was an old man. He held on there, was a feisty little dude. all the way up until the end.
Oh, there's one of them.
Yeah, this is Zelda. She's our pretty much a forever kitten. She's tiny. She didn't get much bigger. She's also the most talkative and the most trained. When everybody goes to sleep tonight, there's a certain 2-word phrase that you use. I can't say it right now because she will want treats because we have her trained to that word.
So don't do it.
It's dangerous to go alone.
But she'll sit there and go to her spot, beg for treats, eat her treats, and then go to sleep.
Wow.
It's with mine as well.
That's
My kids to do that?
No.
Mine do the same thing. They know this one word. It's when I say Feierabend. So it's I say Feierabend, then I do this, and both cats are around me. I'm getting a head bump from the one, and the other one is still waiting outside, and then they get their treats, and then we go to bed. Every evening.
Very nice.
I know she heard me say treats. She's too smart for my own good.
Well, Shane, I know we're at top of the hour again, and I need to bounce out of here so I can allow my space for somebody else because I've taken up more than my fair share of time.
Oh, dude, you're more than welcome. You know,
awesome seeing all of you.
Nice to see you.
Same here.
I
love your shirt.
Thank
I love
you.
your shirt.
I love your shirt. I love your face. I love your face. I love all of you guys. You're the best.
We love you too.
I gotta get back to packing
Same here.
PPE, so I gotta check
So
that
hope,
as well.
Do the good work, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hope to see
Nice to
you
meet
soon
ya.
in real person.
Yeah.
Yes. We will all
We're
get
going
together
to be
soon.
getting a couple more rip boxes from you soon, so watch out for that.
Ooh, all right.
Ooh.
Sounds good.
Here's
Sounds
to
good.
Earth 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Reconcile.
that would be cool. That would be really cool.
That
I'm
would be
just waiting
really
for the
cool.
bar bill from
All
that
right.
one.
Bye, everybody in the chat, too. Thanks so much. Hopefully, I'll check in with you
Bye,
guys a bit
Pooch.
later.
See you guys.
Hang in there, Shane. You got a ways to go.
Thanks. Yeah,
See ya.
just a little bit. And since there's a quick pause, let me bring in our next person who's been waiting, a fellow Floridian who I can't mess up his name. I'll probably mess up his online name because I say it too fast and I'm no longer family friendly. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is Mr. Fun King 3D.
Oh!
Hi.
Hi.
Hold up. His
Hey,
audio,
brother.
his audio is connecting.
There it is.
I think he cannot hear us yet. Oops, what is
Oops.
happening now?
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
What is
Oh my goodness.
Sorry,
is that?
somebody hit a button.
I'm playing with buttons.
It's the cat.
It's the cat. It's the cat.
What is that?
No, he's trying to get the mask. What he's working on just like in the background. So of course
I was
he's
going to
trying
turn my
get
camera off real fast, but
He has the
who knows what
power.
I'm doing.
Glenn.
I really only came here to talk to Pooch, but now that Pooch is gone, I guess I gotta
Oh,
go.
what the heck?
Bye, Glenn.
Bye. See you
Join
later.
in her here.
Oh, hello everybody.
Hi, Glenn. Where's your partner in crime today?
I no longer have partners in crime. So
Wait, let us get the sad. What do you want, violin or a sad trumpet?
yeah, no, Xander has been spending so much time doing his gaming channel that he doesn't care about me and Fun King 3D anymore. And now Zach got a little bit of front and center when we did the Elegoo robot videos, and he likes it and he wants more of it. I just have to figure out how to control him because he'll just talk over me through the whole video.
Kids are good at that.
Makes editing a real challenge.
Don't worry, Dad. I got it. Just sit
Well,
back.
he'll
I got
make a
it.
joke, and then I'll just kind of not really acknowledge it, so he'll think I didn't hear it, so he'll just continue to make the same joke over and over.
Oh, man.
That's called your blooper reel.
Oh, that is one place that I messed up. When I first started this channel, I should have, every time that there was a blooper, I should have pulled it out during editing and stuck it somewhere separate so that I had them all. To go back and find all the bloopers now would be forever.
That's tough to do, to go back, because it's a lot of work.
Oh yeah. Well, it's very cringy to go back. I hate watching the early stuff.
We just call those your blooper episodes?
Yeah, well, and then like it's a little nostalgic because my kids are so young, and then it's like, oh, what happened to those cute, manageable children?
They got their own game channel. They left Dad behind.
Yeah, now they're just out of control. Oh.
All right. Well, this has been amazing, and I am honored to be on the stream with all of you, but I do have to go. I took a lunch break just to try to be on here with you guys because I couldn't miss out.
I'm glad to have you on here, man.
Get a high five in there. Of course, we're probably in different orders for everybody else, aren't we?
Yeah, to me, you're just trying to high five the blackness next to you.
Oh yeah. Well, see, you're below me, but I guess on YouTube you're next to me, so it's weird.
It is weird. I am 2 above you on the Zoom layout. So like,
yeah, the Zoom layout.
I can do Fernando over here. Right here.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I have a different layout.
That's weird. That's weird.
Well, you're in the middle. You're in the middle on my screen.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. So if I'm down like that, then that's you down there.
You're patting her on the head, yeah.
I guess so.
Good cat. Good cat.
It's a shame I have to go. This has been great. All right, see y'all.
You were able to come on, man. It was great having
See
you.
you, Fernando.
Bye.
Good to see you, man.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Hey, Joel, one idea though. If you sit there and want to branch out a little bit further, get yourself a Zoom setup. Get 9 people on there, and you can do 3D printing, Hollywood squares.